MARPOL Annex 3. The regulations were developed in order to identify marine pollutants so that they could be packed and stowed on board ship in such a way as to minimizing accidental pollution, as well as to aid recovery by using clear marks to distinguish them from other less harmful cargoes. This refers to maritime regulations aimed at managing hazardous materials transported by sea. The purpose of these regulations is twofold. First, minimizing accidental pollution by identifying which substances are marine pollutants. Shipping companies can ensure they are properly packed and stowed to reduce the risk of spills leaked during transportation. For example, hazardous materials might be stored in special containers and placed in location on the ship where the likelihood of damage is minimized. Second, facilitating recovery efforts. In order of an accident or spill, having clear labels and marking helps responders quickly identify the nature of the cargo. This enables faster and more effective cleanup efforts, reducing the environmental impact by distinguishing harmful pollutants from less hazardous cargo. These measures are part of international frameworks like the International Maritime Dangerous Goods (IMDG) Code, which provide detailed instructions on how marine pollutants should be handled to ensure the safety of the marine environments.
Midshipman Jorge Janmark, and I am reporting Annex 3. Harmful substance. Ito ay tumutukoy sa mga sangkap o bagay na may hindi magandang naitudulot. Ang mga bagay na ito ay kadalasang tumutukoy sa isang kemikal. Sa atin, sa industriya ng marino, ay nakukumpara ito sa ating mga yamang dagat. Halimbawa, ang hindi sinasadyang pagkalat ng langis sa karagatan na nagdudulot ng pagkalason o pagkamatay ng ating mga yamang dagat. Dulot nito ay ang paglubog o pagtaob ng isang sasakyang pandagat. Kasunod naman nito ay ang package form. Mula sa salitang package o lalagyan, ito ay lagayan ng mga nasabing delikadong mga bagay o sangkap sa IMDG Code. Regulation 1 Application. Sa una naman, ang pinapahiwatig naman nito na ang Regulation 1 Application. Sa una na ipinapahayag na ang regulasyong ito ay ginagamit sa lahat ng sasakyang pangkaragatan na mayroong sakay na karga na may delikadong kemikal. Sa pangalawa naman, ang pagdadala ng mga delikadong kemikal na ito ay pinagbabawal, maliban na lamang kung ito ay may pahintulot ng aplikasyon na ito. Sa pangatlo, na ang pinaglagyan ng mga delikadong kemikal ay tinuturing na delikado na rin kahit na ito ay may wala namang laman. Sa pang-apat, na ang aplikasyong ng regulation na ito ay hindi nasusunod sa mga paggawaan ng mga naturang sasakyan pandagat. Regulation 2 Packaging. Ang pagsasaayos ng mga delikadong kemikal na ito ay maingat na inaayos at nakabatay sa mga bawat nilalaman nito. Sa Regulation 3 naman na ang marking and labeling, sa una na ang lalagyan ng may mga delikadong kemikal ay maiingat na minamarkahan o nilalagyan ng angkop na pangalan. Ito ay para malaman kung ang naturang bagay ba ay delikado sa yamang dagat. Sa pangalawa naman, ang paglalagay ng bawat pangalan o pagmamarka sa nasabing kemikal ay dapat mayroong mga tamang impormasyon at mabilis na natukoy kung ito ay maaaring tumagal ng 3 buwan na paglalayag o pananatili sa karagatan. Pangatlo naman na ang mga lagayan na naglalaman ng maliit na porsyento ng kemikal ay maaaring hindi maisama sa pagmamarka. Sa Regulation 3, Marking and Labeling, UN symbol. The UN symbol ay maaaring mabasa o makita ng may tanda ng may maliit na letrang U na sa ilalim nito ay mayroong maliit na letrang N. Types of container. Iba't ibang uri ng lalagyang chemical ay ang mga sumusunod. Drums and pails, 2 barrels, 3 jerrycans, 4 boxes, 5 bags, 6 composite packaging, 7 pressure receptacle. At sa huli naman, sa naturang picture na ang pagsulat ng pangalan sa bawat chemical ay naglalaman ng code, appearance, spec, size at ang angkop na buhay nito o ang pagtagal sa karaniwang 3 buwan ng pananatili ng sasakyang pandagat sa karagatan.
I'm Midshipman Bengwa John Roy, and today we're presenting Annex 3, which prevention from harmful substance. So let's start at Regulation 4. In Regulation 4, in documents relating to the carriage of harmful substance by sea, where such substance are named, the correct technical name of each such substance are named. The correct technical shall not be used in the substance further identified by the addition of the word marine pollution. So, meaning to say is, sinasabi lang dito is, dapat tama yung pagpapangalan natin doon. And, dapat ma-identify natin if yung kargada ba natin is marine pollutant or hindi. Or nakasulat dun sa kargada natin is marine pollutant. And, for example is, etong picture na to, makikita natin marine pollutant tas yung UN number. Next. The shipping document supplied by the shipper shall include or be accompanied by a signed certification of declaration that the shipment offered for carriage is properly packaged and marked, labeled or placarded as appropriate and in proper condition for carriage to minimize hazard to the marine environment. So, yung picture sa baba is yung shipper declaration. Yan yung example niyan. Yan yung example ng shipping declaration. So, ang next naman dito is properly packaged and marked. So, ang properly packaged and marked is para siyang, kunyari, yung kargada natin is nasa barrel. So, sa barrel siya. So, yung barrel na yun, dapat may mark yun. Nakamark siya ng IMDG codes. So, yun yung mga codes na, kunyari, is, yung barrel na yun is for dangerous siya for explosive or pwede siyang umapoy or ganun. Ganun yung properly marked na na kargada. Yun yung sinasabing properly packaged and marked, labeled as if appropriate siya. So yun yung label siya as appropriate na sa kargada. So next natin is So next is, ito naman yung parang example rin ng shipper's declaration. So yan yung pinaka-example. So example lang siya. So tapos meron rin tayong example na ngayon, shipping information summary. So this is yung shipment type or yung proper shipping name, yung UN number, tsaka yung packaging group, packaging instructions, basta yun. So, yun yung shipping, yun yung information ng shipping natin. So, next. So, number 3. Each ship carrying harmful substance shall have specialist or manifest setting for the harmful substance on board and location thereof. A detailed stowage plan which set out the location, so meaning ano ba yung proper stowage ng kargada na yun, kung ano yung proper position, proper position niya, kung nakahiga, nakatayo, ganito, ganyan, dapat naka-indicate doon kung paano siya. Harmful substance on board may be placed of such specialist or manifest copy. Such document shall also be retained on shore by the owner of the ship or representative until the harmful substance are unloaded. So, dapat yung specialist or manifest niya is meron tayong mga kopya niyan. So, dapat yung kargada natin merong nakalagay doon, yung kopyang yun. Tapos meron rin tayong kopyang yun. Tapos meron rin yung galing sa what do you call this? Yung kargada natin, tayong mag-ship, tapos yung owner, yun. Yung owner ng a copy of one of these documents shall be made available before departure to the person or organization designated by the Port State Authority. So, dapat may mga kopya tayong ng mga documents na yon for safety measures. Next, any stopover where any loading and unloading operation, even partial, are carried out, a revision of the documentation list listing the harmful substance taken on board, indicating their location on board, showing a detailed storage plan shall be made available before departure of the person. So any stopover na gagawin, kung mag-loading tayo, unloading operation, even partial are carry out for documentation. So laging may document siya listing the harmful substance so taken on board. So pwede siyang taken on board. So ang mga detail lang naman dun is yung stowage plan, yung kung kung paano siya nakalagay nga for safety measures. Malay mo kasi mamaya is mali yung pagka-stowage natin, is magkaroon ng problema sa kargada. And then shall made available for departure. So ayun, alam niyo na dapat laging available yun before departure to the person or organization designated by the Port State authorities. Okay, next. Eto. Regulation 5. Stowage. Harmful substance shall be properly stowed and secured to minimize the hazard to the marine environment without impairing the safety of the ship person on board. So ayun, bali na doble siya, lang. So, ang sinasabi lang dito is dapat properly secured siya. Like, the picture here, kung nakikita is, he is properly secured para hindi na rin siya, hindi siya gagalaw yan Hindi na gagalaw yan kasi naka-secured na yan. Para, iwas na rin sa hazards. Kasi, mamaya, sabihin natin, explosive pala yung laman yan. So, pag kunyari, bumagsak siya, so biglang nagkaroon ng explosive, di ba? And magkakos pa siya ng injury sa mga tao on board. So dapat iwas tayo doon and always be safety. Next. So here is example lang naman to. So UN marking. So ayan yung 4G yung 4G is yung packaging identification code. Yung X, ayan, yung X1.5, yan. Ito yung, mass. Yung X3, yung X1.5, yun yung, yung 3 is yung mass or yung kilo niya, yung bigat niya. Yung X is packaging group level equivalent. Tapos yung 1.5 is yung specific gravity niya. So, tapos, yung S na ito, solid siya. Solid packaging, 250, ayan. Hydrostatic text pressure, yun yung pressure, tier of manufacture, location of the manufacturer, yun. So, ayan lang yung makikita kapag yung UN. Dapat yan yung makikita. Dapat yan yung makikita natin nakalagay sa package na UN natin. So, yun.
Ang IMDG code ay dinesign para ma-determine na ang isang bagay ay naglalaman ng dangerous goods. Pinapalagan nito na dapat ingatan yung bagay na nakapaloob doon para maiwasan yung pollution sa environment as well as human health. So, yung IMDG codes ay nakaklasify into 9 classes. Ang una na is Class 1, Explosives. Explosive, which means any substance or articles including device which is designed to function by explosion. So it is an extremely rapid release of gas and heat. Nagkakaroon ng chemical reaction kaya nagre-result siya ng pagsabog. So, merong mga subdivided class yung class 1 explosive. The first one is the class 1.1. Ini-indicate lang dito na pangmalawakang pagsabog or mass explosion na apektuhan yung buong loads. Yung pangalawa naman is nagkakaroon din ng mass explosion pero hindi siya ganun ka-severe compared dun sa 1.1. Ang example nun is some types of fireworks and ammunition. Yung pangatlo naman, nagkakaroon siya ng konting pagsabog and then nagkakaroon ng apoy. So, ang example nun is yung propellants tsaka yung rocket motors. Kumbaga, hindi siya ganun ka-severe katulad nung dalawang nauna. Hindi yung apat naman, kumbaga sa tatlong nauna, siya yung pinaka-minor. Which means, wala siyang ganong harm na maidudulot. So, ang example nun is yung consumer fireworks and blasting caps.
Subclass 1.5 Blasting Agents, a very insensitive substance which nevertheless has a mass explosion hazard like those substances in 1.1. Consists of very insensitive explosive with a mass explosion hazard. Explosion similar to 1.1. This division is comprised of substances which have a mass explosion hazard but are so insensitive that there is very little probability of initiation of transition from burning to detonation under normal conditions of transport. Subclass 1.5 of explosives refers to very insensitive substance that, while capable of producing a mass explosion, like those in class 1.1, are designed to have a low probability of accidental initiation or detonation. Mass explosion hazard. If initiated, this substance can cause an explosion affecting the entire load almost instantly, similar to class 1.1 explosive. Insensitive to detonation. These materials are difficult to detonate, meaning that under normal conditions, they are highly unlikely to transition from burning to an explosive detonation. Transport safety. Due to their insensitivity, they are considered safer to transport compared to typical 1.1 explosives, although precautions are still necessary. Example, ANFO, ammonium nitrate fuel oil, a common blasting agent used in mining that falls under this category when not properly confined. Certain slurry or emulsion explosives. These are also used for industrial blasting and are designed to be stable during transport. Subclass 1.5 is crucial in mining, quarrying, and demolition because it allows for use of powerful explosive with reduced handling risk. However, they must still manage carefully as accidents involving these materials can be catastrophic due to the mass explosion hazard. Subclass 1.6 an extremely insensitive article which does not have a mass explosion hazard. This division is comprised of articles which contain only extremely insensitive detonating substances and which demonstrate a negligible probability of accidental initiation or propagation. Subclass 1.6 explosives are defined as extremely insensitive articles that do not pose a mass explosion hazard. These explosives are designed to be highly stable and safe. with minimal risk of accidental detonation or propagation, even under severe conditions. Low mass explosion hazard. Even if these articles are initiated, the explosion is limited to individual units and it will not affect the entire load. Extremely insensitive detonating substances. These substances are specially formulated to make accidental initiation extremely unlikely. Negligible probability of propagation. If one article is triggered, it will not cause a chain reactions or the explosion of nearby units. And yung importance niya is enhanced safety in handling and transport. Subclass 1.6 explosive provide a much higher level of safety than other explosives. This makes them suitable for mission requiring stringent safety protocols. Reduce propagation risk. These characteristics ensures that even under accidental conditions such as a fire or mechanical shock, there will be no catastrophic chain reaction. These classes are engineered for maximum stability and are used when the highest safety is required, especially in military and strategic contexts. Class 2 gases. Subclass 2.1 flammable gases. Commonly used as fuel, example, propane. Gases which ignite on contact with an ignition source, such as acetylene and hydrogen. Flammable gas means any material which is ignitable at 101.3 kPa, 14.7 psi, when in a mixture of 13% or less by volume with air, or has a flammable range at 101.3 kPa, 14.7 psi, with air of at least 12% regardless of the lower limitation. These are a subset of hazardous gases that can easily ignite and burn in the presence of air and an ignition source. They are regulated due to the fire and explosion risk they pose. Flammable gases ignite easily under standard atmospheric conditions, yung 101.3 kPa and 14.7 psi. They either ignite when mixed with air at concentrations of 13% or less by volume. Have a flammable range, the concentration range within which the gas can ignite, of at least 12% regardless of the minimum concentration, lower flammability limit. Example, propane, a common fuel for heating, cooking, and engines. Acetylene, often used in welding and cutting torches. Hydrogen, used as fuel in industries and energy systems, including fuel cells. These gases are crucial in various industries but require carefully handling to mitigate fire or explosion hazards. Subclass 2.2 Non-flammable, non-toxic gases, commonly used in food refrigeration, example, nitrogen. Gases which are neither flammable nor poisonous includes the cryogenic gases, liquids, temperature of below -100 degrees Celsius, used for cryopreservation and rocket fuels. These divisions includes compressed gas, liquefied gas, pressurized cryogenic gas, compressed gas in solution, asphyxiant gas, and oxidizing gas. A non-flammable, non-poisonous compressed gas means any material which exerts in the packaging an absolute pressure of 280 kPa to 40.6 psia or greater at 20 degrees Celsius and does not meet the definition of Division 2.1 or 2.3. This meaning these gases are neither capable of burning nor harmful in inhaled in small quantities. Non-flammable, this gas will not ignite or hindi siya nasusunog under normal condition. Non-toxic gases. These gases are not poisonous and do not cause health risks typical situation. And may types of gases siya included cryogenic gases or liquids, cryopreservations, rocket fuels, compressed gas, liquefied gas, and etc. Ganyan. To be classified under subclass 2.2, a gas must exert a pressure of 280 kPa, 40.6 psia, or more were stored at 20 degrees Celsius. These gases do not fit into Division 2.1, which flammable gases, those that can ignite and burn like methane. Division 2.3, toxic gases, those that are poisonous or harmful to health like chlorine. Tas yung application example dito is yung nitrogen. Nitrogen is commonly used in food refrigeration. Nitrogen is a non-flammable and non-toxic gas that helps preserve food by slowing down the spoilage process. Subclass 2.2 gases are safe for transport and industrial use as they do not pose fire and toxic hazards, though they must be handled carefully due to high pressure and the potential risk of asphyxiation. Subclass 2.3 toxic gases commonly used in pulp bleaching. Example, sulfur dioxide. Gases liable to cause death or serious injury to human health if inhaled. Gas poisonous by inhalation means a material which a gas at 20 degrees Celsius or less and a pressure of 101.3 kPa. A material which has a boiling point of 20 degrees Celsius or less at 101.3 kPa, 14.7 psi, which is known to be so toxic to humans as to pose a hazard to health during transportation, or in the absence of the adequate data on human toxicity, is presumed to be toxic to human because they tested on laboratory animals. It has an LC50 value of not more than 5,000 ml or MT. This refers to a category of hazardous materials under the United Nations Dangerous Goods Classification System. These gases are classified as toxic because they can severe health risks, including death or serious injury when they inhale. And boiling point. Toxic gases typically have boiling point of 20 degrees Celsius or less under standard pressure. This means they can easily become gaseous, which increases the chance of inhalation exposure. LC50 value or lethal concentration 50 refers to the concentration of the gas that causes a death in 50% of population test animals during controlled studies. If a gas and lethal concentration 50, value 5,000 ml or it is considered highly toxic. If no reliable human data exists, this animal testing data is used to predict human toxicity. And yung examples of gases, example of toxic gases like sulfur dioxide, chlorine, and hydrogen sulfide. These classifications ensures that substances posing a risk to human health are managed with appropriate safety measure.
Class 3 flammable liquid. A flammable liquid means a liquid may catch fire easily or any mixture having one or more components within any flash point. So, ang mga example lang naman nito is acetone, diesel, gasoline, kerosene oil, etc. Transportation is strongly recommended at or above its flash point enable packaging. There are three main groups of flammable liquid. So, una is yung low flash point, pangalawa is intermediate, tas yung high. So, ang low flash point, liquid with flash point below negative 18 degrees Celsius. So, kapag yun yung natin, low flash point siya. No? Pwede siyang, kapag yung natin, packaging natin is below, pwedeng lumiyab kasi kapag naka parang any 18 degrees Celsius, liliyab siya. So, intermediate flash point, liquid with flash point from 18 degrees Celsius up to 23 degree Celsius. Tapos naman yung high flash point na liquid flash point from 23 Celsius and above. So, yun yung mga dapat natin na alam natin yung flash point ng mga kargada natin na flammable liquid. So, para iwas disgrasya siya. O nyari, itong kargatang to is low flash point, so 18 degrees Celsius dapat hindi siya magaganon. I think di niya mamimit yung 18 degree para hindi siya lumiyab. Yeah, that's of my understanding. Okay.
Hi, I'm Edayan B. Constantino and I'm from BSM32 Delta, and I am presenting Class 4 Flammable Solids. Subclass 4.1. A solid that under normal condition of transport is readily combustible or would cause or contribute to fire through friction or from heat retained from manufacturing or processing, or is a self-reactive substance that is liable to undergo a strongly exothermic reaction, or is a desensitized explosive that is liable to explode if not diluted sufficiently to suppress their explosive properties. Ito po yung mga solid cargos na na madaling magliyab or mabilis masunog, or will cause or contribute to fire po through friction or from heat retained po from manufacturing and processing. And kung wala rin pong proper handling ay maaari din po itong sumabog. Mga example po nito ay yung mga sulfur, magnesium, and naphthalene, tsaka po yung mga safety matches, yung phosphoro po. Subclass 4.2. A substance liable to spontaneous combustion under normal condition of transport or when in contact with air, liable to spontaneous heating to the point where it ignites. Commonly used in rocket fuel. Ito naman po yung mga substance na pusa po siyang magliliyab sa biyahe kapag po nag-hit contact po sa sa air. Pwede rin po itong uminit hanggang sa mag-apoy ito. Mga example po nito is yung carbon, cottonseed, copra, at carbon paper. Subclass 4.3. A substance that on contact with water emits dangerously quantities of flammable gases or becomes spontaneously combustible on contact with water or water vapor. Ito po yung mga cargos na pag nakontak sa tubig, it react dangerously and kapag nabasa din po siya ng tubig or kumukulong tubig, naglalabas po siya ng large amount po ng flammable gases or kusa din po siya nag-aapoy. Example po ay yung sodium na ginagamit po sa heat exchangers or bulbs. Kapag ang sodium po ay nabasa, naglalabas po siya ng hydrogen gas na maaaring magliyab. Kaya need din po ng proper handling sa mga material na ganito para maiwasan yung aksidente. Subclass 5.1. A substance which causes or contributes to the combustion of other material by yielding oxygen or other oxidizing substances, whether or not the substance itself is combustible. Ito po yung mga substance na nag-help po siya sa other material by providing po ng oxygen or other oxidizing agents. Kahit po sila mismo ay hindi flammable. Example po ay yung ammonium nitrate na ginagamit sa padaba kapag ito ay nabubulok. Naglalabas po siya ng oxygen na nagsusupport po sa pagkasunog ng ibang materials.
My name is King Janus. Subclass 5.2, an organic compound that contains the bivalent structure which is a strong oxidizing agent and may be liable to explosive decomposition. Be sensitive to heat, shock, or friction, or react dangerously with other dangerous goods. Commonly used in automobile body shop as body filler. Ito po isa sa mga delikado, lalo po kapag nainitan or pagyanig. Kadalasan din pong ginagamit sa automotive manufacturing as body filler. Classic toxic. Subclass 6.1, a solid or liquid that is toxic through inhalation, by skin contact, or by ingestion. Commonly used as a germicide or general disinfectant. Ito po ay tumutukoy sa mga nakakalasong sangkap na maaaring makapinsala sa katawan. Kung malalangap, madikit sa balat o mantunaw. Kadalasan ginagamit din ang mga ito bilang disinfectant tulad ng phenol. Infectious substance. Subclass 6.2, microorganisms that are infectious or that are reasonably believed to be infectious to humans or animals. Commonly used in disease research. Ito naman po ay ang mga nakakalason. Ang mga nakakahawa tulad ng bakterya o virus. Yun po. Class 7, radioactive material. Substance defined as Class 7, radioactive material in the packaging and transport of nuclear substance regulation. Commonly used in nuclear fuel rods. Example, radioactive material, LSA, yellow cake. There are 3 categories which indicate the surface radiation level for a package with categories I being the lowest level and categories 3 the highest. Ito naman po ay kinabibilangan ng radioactive na materials like yellow cake na ginagamit sa mga nuclear fuel road. Class 8, corrosive. A substance that causes destruction of skin or corrodes steel or non-clad aluminum, commonly used in batteries and industrial cleaners. Example, sulfuric acid and sodium hydroxide. Isa rin po ito sa mga sangkap na maaaring makasira ng balat or corrode metals like steel or aluminum. Class 9 miscellaneous. A substance that does not meet the criteria for inclusion in classes 1 to 8 but is nonetheless a dangerous good in transport. These include marine pollutants, environmentally hazardous substance, and elevated temperature materials. Example are dry ice, asbestos, and lithium batteries. Ito naman po ay ang mapanganib na material like marine pollutants and high temperature items katulad ng dry ice. Releases CO2, asbestos, health hazard, and lithium batteries. Fire risk, proper handling is essential for safety. Thank you po.